What's up, YouTube? You guys ready to have some fun making a few more tops for round 2? Let's go. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, so did you guys know that you can support me for not spending a cent by hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing my videos? Doesn't cost you a cent. Helps the algorithm see me a whole lot more, and it's totally free for you. It just takes 3 clicks. Just wanted to throw that out there. Thanks. Bye. And we're back. So, as y'all know, always got to start with the chuck. You can tell I was turning some tops the last time I had this one on. I do like my little whammy bars. Makes for quick blank changes. Alright, and we're gonna go with aqua. Once we're ready, throw this up, and this is how I make my tops. Once everything's all set up and put in, make sure your lathe's going the right way. I don't like the wobble. So this is the key to not getting hurt when you do this. Make sure it's in there nice and square. When you cut the blanks, take the time, get them square. We're just going to live with it. Nice sharp tools. We're going to do this a little under speed at first. Alright, now once you get this all rounded up, we start to shape it. But before I forget, there's 2 different ways I do these. When I'm really busting them out, I use one tool. We're going to do that first. The second way I'm going to do takes a little bit longer, makes them look a little more unique. I do mix it up, depends on my mood. I am trying to get better on the second way because it does leave them noticeably smoother, because I'm trying to get down to only needing 2 tools to make these, the roughing gouge and the 3/8 spindle gouge. Sometimes I gotta look under them what they're called. Of course, my neighbor just decided to start mowing. So yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me over this, because if not, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of voiceover. We will find out. So while we're doing that, I'll get into the markers later. Yeah, and just so you know, I do cut the blocks myself. I get 8/4 hard maple. I make it big enough to hold, or I get about 3 tops out of each block. And with that, full speed, and we're gonna turn it up. This is a brand new gouge, so I'm hoping it'll actually cut right. Sometimes they don't until I put an edge down the whole old bevel. But she's cutting beautifully. The kickback is from the new gouge not having the correct bevel on it. Alright. Another thing I want to throw out, the sharper the tip, the better they spin, but as it wears down they will degrade and you can actually get cut on there. So I make them pointy without making them sharp. Hard to describe, easy to feel. So if you decide to start doing them, that's what I would tell people. So like I said, this is the quick way. This is just a square. In case you can't hear me over that, this is the quick way. This is a square cutter with an Easywood tool handle, a CI2 if you're interested. And we're just going to use this to cut a few things in. And we're going to switch back and forth, and you'll see why I'm trying to get it down to one gouge here in a minute. Now we're back to this one. Take that down. And then to take this off, I always start forming the next top, color that, and we'll get into the markers I use in a minute. Or not. Sometimes when I get a little too excited, I cut them off prematurely. Those are ones I actually sell for a little discount. And now for the harder way. I'm not using this gouge for that. This is one of my old faithful ones. Alright. Like I say, it gives you a bit more of a unique shape. We're going to turn this down low and reverse it. And then I use these Tombow calligraphy markers. They're dual-sided. I really like the fine side. If I'm ever doing this live with kids, I just use Sharpies. They work just as well. I just like the, I think these put out a little more ink a little faster for when I'm doing production. And I don't care if a kid burns up a Sharpie. I do get a little upset about these because they're kind of pricey. But then when you're throwing color on it, you can just do lines, thicker lines, don't really matter. And then once it's ready, I just pinch it. They break right off. They spin quite well. Usually I have a plate next to me where I'll do spin tests on them. And yeah, wrong way. I also reverse it when I put color on because it helps keep the marker at the correct angle. But this is why we do a production, because this is me not holding back for the last one. And if you can't tell from how much smaller that got, this needs a lot more work before it's ready for production, which is also part of why I did this one today. See how it's working. So we'll get this ready to cut off. And this is another one style that I like doing sometimes. Didn't like how that one came out, so if I don't like how the end comes out, I just throw a little extra on. And it hides a lot of crimes. This will be another one that's discounted, but you know, the hand skin nice and tight. Works just fine, just a little small. There I am. So yeah, if you guys were wanting a shorter version on how I do tops, there you go. With that, I will say cat in the hat and dappy bat. Bye.